Volkswagen Dasher, Germany's newest entry into the American automotive marketplace. Completely unlike its older brother, the Beetle, it handles better, goes further on a gallon of gas, and outperforms any other VW ever built. Then, too, it even looks more like a car. They shoved the rear seat back to give the occupants a little more leg room. This decreased the trunk space, so on a trip you carry the small bags. And look, the engine is up front, a 4-cylinder overhead cam, water-cooled power plant, and it drives the front wheels. In the acceleration tests, the front wheels pulled us off the line and ran the needle to 30 in 3.5 seconds. On the second try, our Dasher had 45 miles an hour in 6.7 seconds. This one had the 4-speed manual shifter and was considerably quicker than the model with automatic transmission. The 60-mile-an-hour run came 11.3 seconds after our driver popped the clutch and left the line. The car ET'd the quarter mile in 18.7 at a speed of 77 miles per hour. Passing times were not only adequate, but quite respectable. 30 to 50 miles an hour took 4.5 seconds. We clocked 50 to 70 in 7.9. When it was time for the braking tests, we noticed discs up front with drums in the rear. A VW with disc brakes, wowie. 30 miles an hour took 29 feet. There was no problem with straight line stops in this Dasher. With the brakes cold, this stop from 70 miles per hour ate up 189 feet of asphalt. Nosedive hardly perceptible. We made about 8 separate stops around the track to heat the brakes up for this last panic stop. Our driver leveled her off, hung the needle on 70, entered the chute, and hit the binders. The Dasher went 195 feet this time before coming to a halt. Straight line, very little pedal fade, an excellent stop. During the time that we had this car, we made 4 fuel checks and averaged about 33 miles per gallon. Under all types of driving conditions, from expressway to this type of running on the track. A front-wheel drive vehicle is made for a pylon course. They all run it well, and the Dasher is no exception. The weight distribution is approximately 60-40. The heavier front end caused a slight front corner dive at higher speeds, but rebound as well as recovery were very good. As an item of added interest, the Dasher has self-centering steering to keep it tracking straight in a skid situation. The engineering term is negative kingpin offset. If the front tire goes flat, the steering geometry turns the wheel that has more resistance toward the straight line path, thus keeping the car in line. We found the Dasher to handle very well on the track during high-speed cornering. There was little or no front-end washout, and it was almost possible to power it through the corners with a 75-horsepower 4-banger. Steering is rack and pinion, mounted high over the transmission, with a tensioner to adjust play automatically. For front suspension, they employ McPherson struts that connect to wide-based lower control arms with a stabilizer bar. Springs are made from tapered wire for balance characteristics under varying loads. We found the ride to be a little rough, and on a long trip it might become annoying. Also, the body seemed to lack the strong, heavy feeling of solidarity. They've trimmed the weight of the Dasher to 2,100 pounds to develop a strong power-to-weight ratio, thus giving better performance. If you're getting divorced from the big car class, it's doubtful that you'll want to marry a Dasher, or for that matter, any other car in this category. However, if you're a little car lover, then this newest VW could consume about $4,000 worth of pages in your next payment book.